Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ike and Me Gaming. We're working on the DLC Journey to the East and its Railway Empire 2, in case you didn't know, but you already knew that. All right, so let's see what we need to do today. Last time we finished a peculiar request. Now we're working on towards the end, basically. Once you see these optional tasks, you're getting at the end. As soon as you do this, you're done. And whether you did the optional tasks or not, it's over. So you might want to try to do the optional tasks as you're doing these and try to have these be done because they give you extra points. Okay, so what do we actually have to do? We need to reach 120,000 citizens in Constantinople. We need to have 40 loads of furniture to Constantinople. So that's two things going on there. We need to have 300 passengers in a luxury train from Pladi to Constantinople without changing trains. So basically, like three things that are going around Constantinople, which makes sense. Then below, we need to reach 160,000 citizens in the Greece. So that's Podgorica, Skopje, Thessalonica, and Tirana. So I need to probably do some warehouse, at least one warehouse, maybe two, down there and get them growing up to 160. Then we need to transport 300 passengers for Thessalonica to Constantinople. That should be easy enough. And then we need to connect 2.5 million citizens to our rail network, which probably will almost happen naturally as soon as we connect those four cities, or it'd be very close to it anyways. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. Because I didn't have enough money to buy Greece, which is what, 1.7 million, I believe. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and buy that. I floated the bond of like 78 million. I figure we'll pay it back later. And we may as well go ahead and Marmara buy that because we need that for Constantinople. So I think the first thing we might want to do is get some of our express lines laid down. I think that's what we want to do first. We're going to have to come in here, and we have this huge building that's a little in the way. Um, Maybe we can go over here. Will that give me all 8? Perfect. Okay, we'll do it that way. And we'll go ahead and put in our express. I could see us possibly needing 2 express trains here, though. Just based on how many people we probably want to bring into here. So the first thing we'll do is we'll build a line out to Varna. So we finished our Varna Express, and we're going to come down to Constantinople, and we'll put our fastest train that we have on it. I think we'll put quite a few trains on that. And then we're going to come over and actually, now that I think about it, I put gridirons here and I really don't need to because my train's going to go straight through. That probably just slows it down for no reason. Okay, so plow D to Erdine, Constantinople, and back to Erdine. And my maintenance shop is in Constantinople. So we'll go ahead and do that. We should probably, while we're at it, oh yeah, we already had that. Okay. Yep. And then did I put the modifiers in here? Yes, I did. Restaurant, post office. Perfect. So now we're going to put our train from Erdine to Corlu. Oh, I must have did something wrong. We just put Corlu down, and so we're going to do Erdine to Corlu, back to Corlu. So we'll do that. Express line going into Constantinople. We'll put all our wagons on. So then we needed 300 passengers on a luxury train line. Let's go ahead and do that because we know from experience that's going to take a while. So D to Constantinople, and we'll put, say, 4 luxuries, and there we go. So it's going to go through Erdine. So then we're going to have to start looking at some of these other things. Okay, we need to grow Constantinople. And then we also want to, I think we'll connect all these Greece things first. We have our main lines all laid down now. So we have Thessalonica, and I did put a maintenance depot there. The Erdine, this one's a little long. And we're going to, I think we'll put 6 trains for now. Put all our wagons on. So that's that. Then we have Thessalonica to Sofia. I rearranged some things here. So we'll put maybe 6 trains on that for now. There we go. And then I did my Tirana, which also has maintenance depot. To Skoji, forgot to rename that. Over the Thessalonica Express. Back to Skoji. And we'll put a bunch of trains on that. We'll go 9. And put our wagons on. Okay, and so I left open 2 spots in Skoji. One to go to Sofia, which I think would work good. And then one in case I want to go up to Belgrade, but I may not have to. We'll wait and see, I guess. We did have 300 passengers that need to go to, oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one down here. From Thessalonica to Constantinople. So let's go ahead and put a train on that. And we built a bypass near Erdine, so it should be able to go straight there. Let's put 2, actually. Let's put 2, and over time that should do what it needs to do. Also forgot to mention we had laid out a Mostar Podgorica Tirana line. I forgot to put our trains in there, so we'll throw in 9 trains on that as well with all our wagons. And then we'll give it a few minutes. We'll run it and see just who's not getting people and what we might have to do to fill in our express gaps. We now have Skoji coming over to Sofia Express. And we'll put 6 trains on that with all our wagons. And now we can maybe take a quick look. We'll rename Soji while we're at it here. I like looking at that number 3. There, we rename it. Now let's see, where are they not going to? Belgrade. So Belgrade and Temesvar are the only 2 they're not going to. Belgrade straight up. Temesvar is right above. I could run one right up through the mountains. That's a possibility. What about Podgorica? Where are they getting to or not getting to? Okay, they're not. So Nis is the one they're not getting to. I can see why. I'd have to run straight through the mountains to go over the Nis. And Tirana, what about them? Is there any they're not getting to? Nope, they're good. What about Thessalonica? Gonna assume they must be good too. Yep, they're perfect. What about Erdine? Anything obvious that it needs? Oops. Varna. Okay, yeah, it's true. They need Varna. And we have our line from Erdine going up to Varna. And there was already a maintenance station in Varna. So that works out pretty good. Decided to bite the bullet and build Belgrade to Skopje. You don't even want to know how much money that cost. It was an insane amount. Put 6 trains on that. And then we also built Podgorica to Nis, which also wasn't real cheap because all the mountains. And, oh, yeah, I kind of need another station. That's true. That's true. There we go. Perfect. So now I believe that should hook up everyone. Now that we have all our express lines, it's time to do a warehouse. Because remember, we had to, for our optional task, grow Greece up to 160. And that includes these 4 cities here, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. This guy's in the mountains. I think we'll have to bring lines in directly to him. but I think we could do one, and right here seems like a great spot to start. We'll go ahead and put a warehouse down here and we'll get started on things. We have the beginning of our grease warehouse going here. So we don't have any actual items coming into it yet, but we did do our grease to Podorka freight. So we'll go ahead and put our trains on there. They're going to sit a bit, but that's no big deal. We'll go down to the tail Taft Vale. We'll freight. We'll put our refrigerated car on it. Then we'll come down to, what was it called? Tirana. Perfect. Make sure it's full. We'll put 2, confirm that. Then we'll go ahead and come over to Goji. I'm sure I said that wrong. If someone wants to correct me, feel free. And then we got that on there. Okay, the other thing we did do also was we have a line from Podorica to Tirana. So we're going to ship the cloth down and bring the bread and the wine from over in Skoji back. And then we'll basically do the same thing from Skoji freight to Tirana freight. At first, you're not going to need the wine, but we're going to want to bring things back. And now we'll go back and I already bought all our things. I just got to run the lines to them. I think we have our warehouse lines from our suppliers sitting pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and add our trains in. So, oh, I forgot to put, I always forget to put those gridirons in. Stupid me. Okay, let's try that again. So we're going to bring in our grapes to the grease warehouse. We're going to go ahead and I think we'll put 3 trains on. And we'll keep an eye on it and maybe have to bump up our loading stations to more tracks. But for now, we'll leave it at 2. So now we're going to bring in our wood, do the same thing, and put 3 trains on that. They don't need any wagons. And then we have our honey way over here. Luckily, we had one though. Like, it could be worse. And honey is, as far as I know, shouldn't need any special trains or anything or special wagons. And then a couple, these ones, none of these are going to matter at the moment, but we'll go ahead and line them up. They'll just sit there till they're needed. So we'll go ahead with our freight. 3 of them, yes, they're not going to do anything. That's not a problem. And our olives also aren't going to be doing anything. And that's also not a problem. And I decided to throw in salt. If we go into our warehouse, you can see we already have grains, so we don't need that. We have our grapes, our wood, our honey, our olives, our sheep's cheese, and our salt, which is really all the main goods that you can even want, except if you have a specific industry going on. And now we have to load in our main products. We bought this wool up here. We're going to bring this in to Bedorga Freight so they can make their cloth. So we'll put our train down there and we'll leave it at 3. Okay, and then we brought in our grape, or we're going to, in the Skoji. We're going to bring 3 of them too. Put 3, put it right down, put a wagon. That way they can make wine. And then we put a separate station because the warehouse was getting a little full there, just to bring in our grain, the Tirana freight. So bring in 3, that way they can make bread. So the one thing we have left to do now is going to be to find our nearest place of meat. The splits making meat, that's probably what we want to do, is probably split. I took some time to think about it, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in our meat to Tirana freight, and I added it to the warehouse. So we'll have 3 trains. Actually, yeah, we will need that. So I decided to leave the warehouse the way it was, and I'm bringing it in on the same line that Triana is bringing in the grain. So they're both unloading, no one's loading. So this number 5 and 6 should never be held up. Whereas these other four, two of them will be held up going up to Pogorica, and then two could be held up going to Skoji for now. So that's what we'll do. And then eventually Thessalonica will need some meat too, so I could always just drag this line even further over to them. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll start up Thessalonica. So let's put in not a warehouse, but a freight station. And we'll call it Thessalonica Freight. Perfect. We're working on Thessalonica right now. So we did put our extension on split so it can come all the way into Thessalonica. So we'll want to have, actually, we can just leave that open. We'll want to have 2 trains. So I think it's going to take a while. We'll put our wagons on. And we also came down here and we built another piece onto our Jehu station, or another platform, I guess. And we're going to bring that directly in Thessalonica. There's really no point in building a second warehouse. And I know from experience trying to build 4 cities off a warehouse, just I don't feel it works good personally. Then we got our Jovic station. Got our 2 wagons there coming in with Thessaloniki. And that's good. We'll put our, we have our grape also. Thessaloniki. There we go. We'll put 2 of them. We will put wagons on that one. And we might not even need 2, but we'll see. If they sit there too long, we can always drop it back to 1. Oops. And we put our wood in. So I believe if we go in here and look, so we're going to we have a grape coming in. That'll help our industry as well. We have our wood. We will have meat eventually. We have our grain. We have our honey. So really the next thing we'll need will be cheese. And we can probably wait a little bit for that. We don't need it till we're around 30. We can just bring it from here over. I don't think there's anyone closer. Yeah, we'll just bring it from this. We'll just run up along the edge of the mountain and piggyback on there. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and come back and watch the next episode where we're going to come over here and we're going to work on Constantinople. So that's what we're going to do next, because I think we have the Greek region, or Greece region. I think it's going to go pretty decent. It might hit all of these things, possibly. We already have this line down. So really, we just got to grow Constantinople next, I'd say. And keep an eye on the Greece region too. Make sure it keeps growing steadily.